But today I did take some effort to pick up the right shirt. I did want today to be a celebration, feel like a celebration, and therefore you're probably going to see me on a working day in a color and a shirt you'll probably never see me again in. So this shirt is dedicated in some sense.
Okay, so hold on to your seats because we have the renowned actor, producer, an entrepreneur known for his impactful work across Telugu. What makes Rana's journey even more remarkable is how he's used his platform to champion inclusivity, to break stereotypes. So thank you once again for gracing us with your presence today and transformative journey. And if you'd like to own a copy of this special edition, it's available at the stall outside for just $4.99 rupees. You can also order your very own copy from Amazon, and very soon you're going to find these books on the racks across leading bookstores like Crosswords and Tidal Wave and airports. And for our readers who are...
Life always has a way of teaching you things, and this was mine, and that's how I took it in my stride. And whether partial blindness is even a fact today that I can't see from one eye, but I still continue to do what I do. I was diagnosed with kidney issues after this large successful film called Bahubali. So if you saw that film, I was like 2 times this size or 3 times this size. But post that, I couldn't be the guy I was. So somewhere it was like reinventing yourself. It was finding perspective and meaning to the world in the way that you should find it. The largest lesson that you learn is time is limited. The way you spend each day, this way you value relationships or value what you do for yourself and for others becomes very key and priority. The why in my life became very important post that. It took away 5 or 6 years of my life from active work because I was dealing with how to get back to normalcy. And fortunately or unfortunately, the job that I was in, normalcy meant much more than normal standards. Because the last time they saw me on screen, I was killing a bison with my bare hands, and I knew I couldn't be that guy anymore. So I think every choice, whether it's life or the way you choose to move it, kind of changed. And there is a sense of hardship, but I don't know if. But that probably made me the human I am today, because if not that, I wouldn't have had a perspective to see the world the way I do.
Life, it has a lot of unexpected twists, and you don't know what's going to happen. I was just 10, 11-year-old when our whole family met with a car accident. And after that, being a kid who's running, dancing, going around, and suddenly you are completely on the bed and you don't know how to go ahead with your life. It kind of changed my mindset, also changed me completely. Living your life totally on a wheelchair, you have to learn a lot of new things, how to go outside, how to face the world. It brought a lot of sadness, anger, anxiety, and all of those things. Physically, there were a lot of issues, but mentally it was very exhausting because you don't know what's there in future for you. Sometimes you don't even want to think about it, how it's going to be. Sometimes you think, why it's with me, why God has chosen me to be, in this misery and all. But the only thing that kept me going and helped me through all of these things were definitely my family. They played a huge role in, they just said that now, visually we can see that you have changed, but inside you're still the same Avni Lekha that was there. And you can still do the things that you set your mind onto it. And they kind of pushed me to, living a normal as possible life. I joined the school. They even pushed me in sports, and in 2015 I started shooting. And when I went there for the first time, I was so nervous. I was like, how can I do this sitting on a wheelchair? How can I even hold a rifle that is 5-6 kgs? Like, I'm not capable of doing that. I was shivering. I was so nervous.
My real face in the place of an actor.
No, what a pity.
I wish I would have acted my own role, so perhaps it would have been more. But you know, life is all about every time you face a challenge, you turn that as an opportunity. So this time I made up my mind and said, जब sequel to आएगा जरूर मैं ही करूँगा. But thank you so much for having me today. And indeed, I'm moved because I have done so many events, had done so many DI events and all. But I have not seen a company like Future Generali who is actually practicing inclusion as intention. You know, you should understand this fact, right? I mean, everybody have sympathy or everybody want to do good for people who are underprivileged or people who are disabled. But people who can do it as an intention, as a part of their ecosystem and a blueprint, those are the real change makers. And today, Future Generali is no less than a change maker in this field, in innovating for the big change that we want to see. And my life is all about that. Wherever I see a challenge, I would walk right into it. And it's the challenges that makes me every day. And it's the no that makes me to turn yes. Every time someone says no, I climbed over their head to proceed to the next level and say, it's only Shrikant can do this. And in fact, I always joke and say, if you want to rub me on the wrong side, all that you have to do is say no to me. Then I'll prove that I can do this.
First, sir, I think just an organization of this scale doing something like this, and the fact that 1% of their entire workforce is now in such an inclusion manner, I think it's a huge step forward. Inside this forum, we spoke about empathy over sympathy, and I think Future Generali is leading by example.
Tell us about your experience meeting Avni, Shrikant and other...
Well, it's such a humbling experience. I think it's just a large motivation day for me today, just by meeting these people and seeing where they've pursued in life. That's really what it is. It's just a big day.
Any message you would like to convey to the other audience who are watching you?
Well, be aware, understand that everyone's story is different. If there is something that God has given as a challenge, it's people are overcoming it, and do your part in that.
And tell us about your association with Future Generali.
Well, as soon as they came to me, and this was the first time I actually spoke to any large platform in some manner about health issues and others, but I'm just the fact that they're opening up dialogue is such a huge part.
What do you say about Anup Rao, about his initiative to this thing? Because he's been a major role for this initiative.
Well, like I said, this initiative is something that hugely inspires a lot of people, and I hope the media kind of takes it to more and more organizations and makes it a normalcy.
I think जो फ्यूचर जनरल इंश्योरेंस ने करके दिखाया है हमको, एंड टुडे दे हैव शोन दैट नथिंग इज़ इम्पॉसिबल. क्योंकि 10 साल के पहले मैंने लोगों के लिए कॉर्पोरेट्स में जॉब लगाने के लिए बहुत कोशिश किया था थ्रू और NGO, बट नो कॉर्पोरेट वाज विलिंग टू hire people with various disabilities for several reasons. Either they don't know how to handle them, or they cannot create any extra facilities or whatsoever. And what people doesn't understand is people with disabilities doesn't require special facilities. They only require a mindset change and a perception change. And that is the difference between all the other companies out there and Future Generali Insurance. These people here has a different mindset to view people with disabilities as productive workforce rather than viewing them with the angle of sympathy and turning them away. So I really congratulate the entire team for such humongous effort in making their DEI as core initiative of their business. We can simply talk about CSR or diversity, equity and inclusion on the face of it, but we don't implement. Most companies doesn't implement, but Future Generali is actually leading the way in showing us how this has to be done and how their business outcome can be increased. by increasing the percentage of people with disabilities in their workforce.
Tell us about your association and how you associated with Future Generali.
I am very happy to be one of their chief guests for the event today, for the book launch that we did along with my other guests, and I'm above everything, the amount of dedication Future Generali has towards people with disabilities is quite good, and it is very, very impressive. So we have to appreciate the entire team who are behind this and doing this to inspire all the other corporates to follow the same footsteps.
Okay, I want to see the camera. Well, I mean, look, let's understand, let's appreciate the fact that, doing business in India is a privilege. It puts you in a position of privilege. I think being able to lead a company is a privilege. I think a lot of people are in a position to do something for society, be it celebrities, be it movie stars, be it sports people. I think they have to use their privilege wisely. I think all of us have societal responsibilities. I think it's an opportunity for us as an organization to build people who represent various communities, various aspects of society, for solutions which can actually represent in every single member of the larger communities that we hope to serve.
Sir, do you think after this initiative, the other people will motivate and the higher the more they will hire more people?
I certainly hope so, because in my opinion, in case you want to provide genuine solutions encompassing every single part of society, in case you want to do that, you need representation within your company. I think the quality of the services or goods you provide improves because you have better representation and more diversity in your views, more inputs coming your way. So I think it definitely makes sense for people to do that.
So we have biggest example Avni, Shrikant sir. Do you think people will look at them and come forward to showcase their talent in the various fields?
I certainly hope so. I think people from the disabled community need a platform, need an opportunity, and then so that they can do their best. I think even in our company we have seen that people with disabilities have done very well. It's not that the productivity is any different for people compared to people with who are completely able, in case I can use that term. I think what they require is a platform and an opportunity for them to be able to contribute. I think that's what they're looking for.
So everyone is welcome is your message. What do you mean by that to people?
Well, we are saying at Future Generali, everyone's welcome. I mean, irrespective of who you are, where you come from, what your abilities are, what your supposed lack of abilities are, what communities you come from, what your orientation is, what your belief system is, it does not matter. We provide a room for everyone, and we welcome that because I think it makes us a better company at the end of the day.
And also, there are a lot of hidden disabled people out here. And are you in a way that you select those people and sponsor or support them like what you are doing right now?
Sorry, say that again.
So there are so many people, like since you have taken the initiative of supporting disabled, there are so many hidden people that they are unnoticed. Is there anything that you do that for those people also?
So we work with a lot of NGOs so that we can get a funnel of people who are differently able or who are marginalized who can work with us. So I think all we can do is to make sure that we try and create opportunities for the people we are exposed to. And we try and get that through NGOs because we ourselves as a company will have limitations in doing that. So hopefully, yes, we'll get wider and wider exposure to those people and therefore a larger opportunity to hire some of them.
Any message you would like to convey to the audience, the able people and disabled people?
No, well, all I can say is that I think, and I've said that on stage, that I think we are conscious about the privilege, economic privileges some of us might have. Privileges, I mean, a lot of success in life is also a question of accident of birth. And you win the genetic lottery, you're born in the right family, you get the right opportunities, you go to the right school, you get the right exposure, you do well. And it's not just economic privilege. Some privileges could just be that, you know, you're able-bodied and then, you know, you can use facilities and public goods which may not be accessible to other people. It's also about orientation. I mean, when I grew up in the 90s, largely you were lucky to be male over a female. Thankfully, less of a case today. You were luckier to be heterosexual than homosexual. Thankfully, again, that's less of a case today. But then privileges come in various forms, and I think let's be conscious about it. And let's use our genetic lottery wisely. Let's spread the winnings of the lottery to people who are less fortunate and less able than us. Thank you. What would you like to see next in the journey? Let me ask you.
So you have already achieved 1%, so what's your next goal?
Look, I think getting to that 1% was difficult. I mean, if I remember right, I think the number was 4 about 3-4 years back. Last year we got to a number of 22, and then I said that, you know, let's get to 1%, which is about close to the 40 number that we have today. My dream really is that over the next 5-6 years, maybe longer, maybe shorter, I would like to see people at the CXO level, business heads, actually be from this community. Right now we have people who are in lower and mid management. I mean, I would like to see, our organization be able to build some of these people to take leadership positions in the company. That's my dream.